So in this way, I mean, I'm getting a little bit older, and I've looked at politics for many, many years. The situation has only degraded over time, but yet they always, in every election, get the people all riled up to go against the previous ruling party. And in this way, people have stayed bewildered for so many decades and hundreds of years, flip-flopping between two masters who don't give a damn for you. They only care as to carry out the agenda of the master manipulators behind the scenes. So I hope that at some point people will wake up to this, that the Democrat-Republican is just a game, and it's a game that we'd never win, we only lose, and that we have to try to look for solutions outside of politics, because flip-flopping between Democrat and Republican hasn't done anyone any good for the last 100 years, and it's not going to do us any good in the future. Okay, let's move on to text 36. In translation, O your Majesty, though I may live anywhere and everywhere under your order, I shall but see you and your bow and arrows wherever I look. Purport. The personality of Kali could see that Maharaj Pariksit was the emperor of all lands all over the world, and thus anywhere he might live, he would have to meet with the same mood of the king. The personality of Kali was meant for mischief, and Maharaj Pariksit was meant for subduing all kinds of mischief mongers, especially the personality of Kali. It was better, therefore, for the personality of Kali to have been killed by the king then and there instead of being killed elsewhere. He was, after all, a surrendered soul before the king, and it was for the king to do what was required. So here Kali is making hints that, okay, you may let me go now, but since everyone is united in a Vedic culture, all the lands of the world, whether they be Egypt or Central America or Africa or India, that wherever I go, I'll meet with the same mood of the people and the same mood of whatever rulers have been deputed to rule over those areas, that they will want to stamp out the unrighteousness. So what is my position? Let's move on to text 37. Therefore, O chief amongst the protectors of all of religion, please fix some place for me where I can live permanently under the protection of your government. Purport. The personality of Kali addressed Maharaj Pariksit as the chief amongst the protectors of religiosity, because the king refrained from killing a person who surrendered unto him. A surrendered soul should be given all protection, even though he may be an enemy. That is the principle of religion. And we can just imagine what sort of protection is given by the personality of Godhead to the person who surrenders unto him, not as an enemy, but as a devoted servitor. The Lord protects the surrendered soul from all sins and all resultant reactions of sinful activities. Bhagavad Gita, 1866. So again, this is an important verse that people have been taught today, that there is no God, or there is no Godhead, or that there is no divine couple, creative couple, and that even if there is, that you shouldn't pray to them, or you shouldn't try to become in a connection with them. This is throwing away your most valuable asset as a human being, as a spirit soul. So I'm asking people very humbly and very sincerely to consider what's being said here and to try to reestablish their dormant relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Creator of all that be, and that this will be our greatest asset and our greatest benefit. It will be our greatest protection. It will help us in our time of need, and it will also bring us great peace of mind. So just try to listen with an open mind. Try to understand the situation, that there is a Supreme Personality of Godhead, that there are righteous people who can help you become in connection with Him, and that ultimately you can reestablish your lost relationship in a feeling of eternity, bliss, and knowledge, not in some kind of slave-like servitude, which is the modern-day propaganda. Text 39. Translation. The personality of Kali asked for something more, and because of his begging, the king gave him permission to live where there is gold, because wherever there is gold, there is also falsity, intoxication, lust, envy, and enmity. Purport. Although Maharaj Pariksit gave Kali permission to live in 4 places, it was very difficult for him to find the places, because during the reign of Maharaj Pariksit, there were no such places. Therefore, Kali asked the king to give him something practical which could be utilized for his nefarious purposes. Maharaj Pariksit thus gave him permission to live in a place where there is gold, because wherever there is gold, there are all the above-mentioned four things, and over and above them, there is enmity also. So the personality of Kali became gold standardized. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, gold encourages falsity, intoxication, prostitution, envy, and enmity. Even a gold standard exchange and currency is bad. Gold standard currency is based on falsehood because the currency is not on par with the reserved gold. The basic principle is falsity because currency notes are issued in value beyond that of the actual reserved gold. This artificial inflation of currency by the authorities encourages prostitution of the state economy. The price of commodities becomes artificially inflated because of bad money or artificial currency notes. Bad money drives away good money. Instead of paper currency, actual gold coins should be used for exchange, and this will stop the prostitution of gold. Gold ornaments for women may be allowed by control, not by quality, but by quantity. This will discourage lust and envy and enmity. When there is actual gold currency in the form of coins, the influence of gold in producing falsity, prostitution, etc. will automatically cease. There will be no need of an anti-corruption ministry for another term of prostitution and falsity of purpose. So this purport, even though it's coming from very ancient knowledge, is very relevant to the modern day. That we see that this has been another question that I've heard a lot of people talking about. What is the obsession with gold, and why has gold become such a valued and prized commodity in this age? So from this purport, we can understand that gold is the place where Kali resides, because through the use of gold, you can buy all the activities of gambling, intoxication, prostitution, and meat eating. Gold has been infused with this power. So this is why there is such a big, huge obsession with gold and gold mining and people buying gold and selling gold. This is where this comes from. That is the symbolic representation in this age of Kali, which is the degradation and the devolution of mankind. This is the main reason and the main function and the main purpose behind gold. But just like with everything else, even a bad thing can be made to be a useful purpose. Therefore, if we stop doing the artificial currency notes and the fiat currency, which, as we see right now with the economy of the United States, has created so many vast problems, that gold can actually be used for a beneficial purpose in the form of gold coins. And this will stop the inflation and the speculation of Wall Street. And this verse also indicates that Wall Street has become nothing but a huge gambling operation and a huge Ponzi scheme and a huge ripoff and a huge lie, as we see through the derivative fault swaps and all these other devices that they've used to take a tiny bit of money or a tiny bit of gold and then to control so many assets through that. And then at some point, the entire Ponzi scheme falls apart. Of course, because they're in cahoots with the government then gives them more billions and trillions of dollars to continue their nefarious activities. So here it's indicated that what is the real purpose and meaning behind gold is that you can buy all the different illicit sense pleasures, and also how gold can be used to help to fight fire with fire, how gold can be used to help stop all these different illicit activities in the form of gold coins and moving away from fiat currency.